on the shoreline of Lake Tekapo this morning. And this area is known as a dark sky reserve, and we're doing what's called the Mount John hike, which is going to take us up to the top of this hill where they have an observatory.
Nice hike. We're out of shape though. Too much wine and pastries in New Zealand.
We went past the observatory. The hike took us 10 kilometers around the mountain in Lake Tekapo.
In New Zealand right now, almost 4 months later, now we're getting to watch our episode of AGT that we watched live.
We're here on the Hooker Valley Trail up to Mount Cook. Behind me you see a glacier. That's not Mount Cook. Mount Cook is up the valley. It was about a 4-hour hike, which crossed 3 swing bridges. It had amazing views of surrounding mountains and riverbeds. We talked that it was one of the prettiest hikes we had ever been on. When we finally arrived at the end of the trail, the summit was hidden in clouds.
From Mount Cook, we drove to Akaroa, a beautiful seaside town, but it was an extremely windy drive. Lucy and I decided to have an adventure in New Zealand and went to swim with the wild dolphins in the open ocean. After suiting up in thick wetsuits to keep us warm, we boarded the boat and headed out in search of the dolphins. We also got to see a little blue penguin while we were out.
It wasn't long before we could see the dolphins circling around the boat, but it took us a few minutes to find ones that would actually stay interested long enough for us to get in the water.
These were the Hector dolphins. They're the smallest dolphins in the world and easily identified by their black dorsal fin.
Even though the water was cold and very wavy, the sun was bright and it was a great day to be on the water.
While we were in the water, it was difficult to see the dolphins with all the rolling waves, but they came in very close and were really quite playful and just fun to have around us.
Before we knew it, it was time to go back home.
By this time, we were able to feel and sense the impact that the coronavirus was having on the world. And then we got this message.
Let me be clear. If you're abroad, it's time for you to come home.
Just arrived here at the Christchurch airport. It's really been a crazy couple of days and really a real crazy couple of hours. It's the 19th of March, the day before we're supposed to fly out. We got a call from United Airlines stating that our flight from Christchurch to Sydney had been canceled and they're rerouting us, which was going to push back all of our flights. Unfortunately, we didn't answer the phone call or wasn't able to get to the phone, and we had to call back. And so we had just over an hour waiting to at least speak to somebody, but we did get it arranged. So tonight we are flying from Christchurch to Auckland. We're going to spend the night there and get our first bright and early flight out to Sydney tomorrow morning, and hopefully be able to make the rest of our connections.
But we're doing good right now. So far so good. We're here.
We're in Auckland Airport this morning, just catching one of our many flights today. It's pretty quiet around here. Things are pretty low-key, lots of face masks, lots of reminders to wash hands, so we'll see how it goes.
We've now arrived at LAX. We've been traveling for what I think has been about 24 hours, but with all the time zones, we're actually at the exact same time we started, which is kind of weird. We have... What else is there to say? Like,
For our time in quarantine, we rented an Airbnb in Niagara Falls. So back in Canada to cold weather, but we're making the most of the hot tub at our Airbnb.
We're making the best of our time in quarantine. New hairdo! How you like it, bangs? Hey! Oh, do you want to throw it? Make it good, girl! Come on, Lucy! We're GoProing! A good girl! Ready? 1, 2, 3, throw back. Gone wrong leg. Quarantine really be hitting different. Quarantine really be hitting different.